Welcome to Totally Abstracted. I'm Michelle and I'm so glad you're here. Last week we explored the idea that you, as an artist, can't be separated from your work. Not really. Your memories, your feelings, your ways of seeing the world, they all flow into every mark you make. Your art carries your emotional fingerprint, whether you mean for it to or not. But there's a natural follow-on question that so many artists wonder about. What happens when other people look at this deeply personal work and see something completely different? Is that a problem? Have they missed the point? Or is that exactly how it's meant to be? So today I want to talk about how others see your abstract work and why it's not just okay if they get it wrong. It's a vital part of how your art connects and lives in the world. So if you've ever shown your work, maybe at a local exhibition, an open studio, or even online, you've probably experienced this. Someone gets in touch with you and says, "I love this piece. It makes me think of the cliffs by the sea where I grew up." Or it reminds me of lying in the garden as a child looking up at stormy skies. And inside you're thinking, that's not at all what I was painting. Inside you may even feel a flicker of discomfort. Did they not understand? Should I have made it clearer? But the truth is they did understand. They understood in a way that's true for them. And that's the quiet magic of abstract art. I think every artist has a version of this story. The first time you realise that people will see your work through their own memories and emotional landscape. Maybe you created a painting that for you expressed a season of grief. The textures, the colours, the sense of something unravelling. You hang it in a small group show and someone stands in front of it and says how much hope it gives them, how it reminds them of a dawn after a long winter. It can feel jarring at first, like you're being misunderstood. But really it's the opposite. They've found something true for them inside something that's true for you. Your story and theirs coexist inside those brushstrokes. I've lost count of the number of times I've heard artists share moments like this, how someone brings their own history to a painting and finds meaning the artist could never have predicted. But that's not a failure of communication, it's the living, breathing purpose of this work that we do. In the world of abstract landscapes, this all feels especially powerful. Unlike realism, which shows the viewer exactly what's there, abstraction invites interpretation. Your layers, your scraping back, your veiling and revealing, they hold ambiguity. When someone stands before your painting, they're not just looking at colour and composition, they're looking for themselves within it in a sense. Your work becomes a mirror, one you shape from your own memories and moods, but one that reflects theirs too. So what does this mean practically? It means that when you create, you can hold your intentions lightly. You can trust that your authenticity is enough. You don't need to control how others walk through the door you've opened. And when you share your work, you don't have to pin down every meaning or explain every mark. It's perfectly okay to offer little glimpses, a line in an artist statement, a few words about your mood, but you don't need to write a detailed map. The blank spaces are where connection happens. So often the fear of being misunderstood holds us back from sharing at all. We think, if they don't see what I see, maybe I've failed. But what if that misunderstanding is actually the greatest success? What if your work becomes more layered, more resonant, precisely because people bring their whole selves to it? I think about all the paintings hanging in museums, the artists long gone. We look at them now with our 21st century eyes, projecting our modern worries and dreams onto something painted in another time, another life. And somehow they still speak to us, not because they hand us a perfect answer, but because they open the door for us to ask our own questions. It's worth saying too that sometimes artists go the other way. You can feel like you must stay silent about intentions, that the work should stand alone, and that sharing our story might somehow spoil it. But last week I talked about letting people into your process and that can actually deepen the connection. Sharing your authentic why or a glimpse of what you were feeling doesn't close off other interpretations. It just gives viewers another thread to hold on to as they wander through the work. So you don't need to explain everything, but you don't have to hide behind a veil either. Somewhere in the middle, honest but open, is the place to be. And think about this. Once your painting leaves your studio, whether it's sold, exhibited, or simply posted online, it's no longer just yours. It's a living thing shaped by every pair of eyes that rests on it. Doesn't that take the pressure off a bit? In a sense, you don't have to get it perfect. You just have to show up honestly. The rest will find its way. So let's wrap up what I've talked about today. Firstly, your abstract landscapes carry your essence, but they're meant to invite others in. Second, what people see in your work will often surprise you, and that's not wrong. It's connection in action. Third, sharing your process can deepen meaning, but you don't have to over-explain. Lastly, your role is to create honestly, then let go of how your work will live out in the world. This week, I invite you to practice embracing this openness. Pick a recent piece you've made. Don't share your intention for it. Just show it to someone you trust, a partner, a friend, a fellow artist. Ask them, what do you see here? What does it remind you of? How does it make you feel? Then listen closely. Notice what aligns with your original idea and what surprises you. Journal about it. How did you feel when someone gets it wrong or right? And if you feel comfortable, share the piece on social media or in my membership and ask, what does this evoke for you? Sometimes the insights you get back can be seeds for new work, or they might simply remind you that art is always bigger than one story. Your art isn't static. It's a living bridge between you and everyone who pauses to see it, even for a moment. So the next time someone tells you what your painting means to them, even if it's wildly different from what you felt when you painted it, take a breath and say thank you. They've just shown you that your work has a life beyond your studio walls. And that's not wrong. That's everything art is meant to be. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, and keep things totally abstracted.